We're going to talk about humility. The story today is about George Foreman. When I coached in Marshall, Texas, George Foreman had retired from boxing. Now, you may not know who George Foreman is if you're young. George Foreman was the original Mike Tyson. I mean, when George Foreman, he won the Olympic gold medal, and then when he started boxing, he just knocked everybody out. I mean, they didn't even go 2 rounds. George just knocked everybody out. Great big hulk of a man, and he was just, one of the Ali's trainers told him, most guys will knock you out. George will kill you if he hits you solid. And so George Foreman became the heavyweight champion of the world. Well, he retired, and at the time he was living in Marshall. And I had him talk to our football team one year after we'd had a really good season, and he came in and talked to them. And he gave the greatest speech on humility that I've ever heard. I'm going to paraphrase it and try to tell you the best of my memory. But George talked about when he was getting ready to fight Joe Frazier in Jamaica to be the heavyweight champion. And he had knocked all these nobodies out. And now he was going to fight the meanest man in Philadelphia, the guy that had beaten Muhammad Ali, Joe Frazier. And he said he was scared to death. Said he trained every day. He said he only ate what would help him be strong. Said he didn't even have any women around him for 6 weeks. Said there was nobody but he and his trainer, and he worked every day. He got to Jamaica. He knocked Joe Frazier out. Knocked him down 7 times, and knocked him out. And became the heavyweight champion of the world. And then there was a big to move on and fight Muhammad Ali. And Ali was all for it. And so they signed to fight in Zaire, Africa. And so George started his workout regimen. He said he would get started or go to get started. All his friends, quote, George, you don't need to work out. You're the greatest. You don't need to go in that gym and work out. Well, you're the great. Oh, Ali is an old man. Frazier beat Ali. George said he listened to him. Didn't train. Didn't get ready. And he said, contrary to what everybody believes, Muhammad Ali did not knock him out in the 8th round. He said he passed out from exhaustion. Said he was in such poor shape because he got to thinking that he was so great and he quit working. He lost his humility. And George told our kids, he said, you guys have got 2 choices. You either will be humble or you will be humiliated. I don't think there's a better story for that. They have what they call a sophomore jinx. And I saw it happen so many times when I was coaching in college. A freshman would come in and he had worked out all summer. He was scared to death. He came in the best shape of his life. Worked hard, had a great freshman year, and got ready for his sophomore year. And everybody said, you don't have to work out. You ran for 1,000 yards last year. You got it. You don't need that. And he would listen. And then he would get hurt because he wasn't in shape. He'd try to come back, but he was still out of shape, so he'd get hurt again. And he'd spend his whole year injured. And his mother would say, whoa, how unlucky he was. You'd say, no. The only thing that killed him was his loss of humility. When he lost that humility, he wouldn't be able to do that. See, if you're going to become the best you that you can be, you have to realize become humble. If you're going to be the best you can be, then it will be a humble you that's the best you that you can